About the oh my God, we're live again. Well, hello, John Han here, and with my co-host Mike, and this is Posting Cinema Live number three. I didn't know we were going to be live tonight, but there we are. We're now live.
Yeah, you were telling me earlier you went to a film location and got me thinking. Let's talk about that tonight.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I mean today was a pretty productive day for me of doing nothing. Well, I capped it off this night. I went to a screening of Beauty and the Beast, the 1946 Jean Cocteau film, La Belle et la Bête. It was from the Austin Film Society. Oh man, a great classic fantasy film, and there's so many fantasy films that's pretty much just ripped off this French fantasy film. It's a fairy tale, but very kind of weird and surreal. Lots of camera effects and some very special stuff. It's a real good, really good movie. And everybody from Legend to Disney's Beauty and the Beast. The Beast in the Disney film is a it's a ripoff basically of this thing.
Pattern heavily off of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything is patterned. The look of I'm sure that the pattern, how we know the look of the Beast is right from this film. And it was cool. The screening was cool because it was at the Austin Film Society on the Austin Film Studios lot, which is like the back lot where I'm sure Robert Rodriguez has worked there. They've got these gigantic like aircraft hangars, and it's like an industrial area of Austin, and I went there previously. I mean, you gotta be buzzed in at the gate, and oh hey, I want to go see the movie, and they're like, oh okay, and then the gate opens, and you gotta go in there, and it's just a little tiny bungalow, the screening room, so it's like, oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, I've never seen the film, but it always, whenever I saw stills, it seemed like it had a very like ethereal sort of feel to the film, based on just seeing like screenshots, like
Yeah.
very surreal and very sort of misty looking.
Oh man, it absolutely does. It's just an atmospheric, just beautiful early film. So that was how it capped off the night. But yeah, you're correct, Mike. Earlier, it was such a beautiful day today in Austin, or I guess yesterday, because it's actually officially Wednesday right now. But yeah, yesterday the sun was out and everything. So first I went to the Baghdad Cemetery, where I'd taken you, and I hadn't done a video of that, so I wanted to just video the Baghdad Cemetery just for the hell. It's a cemetery. It's the filming location from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where at the beginning of the film you see the corpse that's stuck on the tombstone, and then later Sally and the crew in the van go there and see if any of their relatives are dug up. But the big thing I wanted to go to see today is Quick Hill Road, because I had seen on the Facebook group, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Locations Facebook group, that something had been going on there, that they had started clearing the trees of Quick Hill, which was, I have a video up I shot in January of this year, and then today I just uploaded the video I shot today, and I went to Quick Hill. It is kind of sad because they really Quick Hill Road is right now at the top of this big part of this big building development called La Frontera, which is medical facilities and a Marriott hotel and condos and apartments and movie theaters and Barnes and Noble and Home Depot and Sam's Club. It's this big building development, and Quick Hill is just like the very end of it. It's just like this one thing that for years just sat undeveloped, and they pretty much cleared all the trees off it right now. And I mean, you can see from the video on my channel.
It's like a little strip, the road, like at the very corner of like this large area, like you said, where there's like shopping centers and businesses and like a condo complex.
Yeah.
I knew that you and I went there, like not this past, what was it, like end of February, beginning of March, but the previous
last year. Yeah.
And fortunately, I was out there visiting you. That the timing matched up to where when we were able to go out there, and it was still pretty untouched, except for, of course, the house being gone, which it has been for years. But it still retained that same feel, but what I saw earlier, the pictures that you sent me, it looked pretty barren now, except for like some trees here and there next to the road that used to be a Quick Hill Road, and it's really just like it's almost tragic in a way that they've just wiped this place out. It's gone to the ages now.
Yeah, I mean, and I know when we went there, I don't remember we were cold. It was cold and wet and miserable when we when we took that trip. But yeah, I mean, there's still some trees, but it was all with just cloud, just the brush and everywhere. It was overgrown. And the cool thing, though, one of the cool things is that you can actually now walk up Quick Hill because it's just barren. You can just walk up and check it out. And looking around, the place would be a perfect area for a park. They could make a park out of that area and maybe even have like a chainsaw. I mean, I know I'm not joking. I mean, there's so many industrial stuff and apartments. And I mean, it makes sense to have an area where you can just kind of chill out and if you're in a medical place or those apartments, it almost needs just an area, a wooded area where with some trails where you can do some laps or just walk.
And it's a huge interstate right there, so I mean, it would be picturesque for people to kind of just look and watch all the activity going on, but. It would be kind of funny. I'm just thinking, like, if they put, like, a park and had, like, a playground there, and, like, they had, like, a monument that this used to be where they shot Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, with this big bronze statue of Leatherface or something, that would be incredible.
The little kids, like, sitting there playing, in the with Leatherface with the chainsaw up in the air.
Oh, yeah, the kids would be climbing all over Leatherface, this big thing, Leatherface, like, defiant. Oh, yeah. Oh man,
and they could set up some barbecue stands out there at the park and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You could go barbecue at the chain. I mean, that would blow my mind. My head would explode like scanners. It would just be like if I was able to do that. Oh my god. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, all the barbed wire that because we saw that barbed wire fence at the end of the thing, the end of Quick Hill Road where the house was, and that's all gone. Yeah.
So there's no artifacts laying around anymore. They pretty much scraped the ground and got everything out of there, the barbed wire and.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty well scraped. I mean, yeah, there used to be a lot of junk there, and it seems like as part of their cleanup, they've gotten rid of it. Because there are a lot of beer bottles and people would hang out there. Because it was just a wooded area, I'm sure like it was it attracted homeless people and drunk people and fans of the film as well. But yeah, I think it's all gone. I found like one, like trash bag there or something, but yeah.
Yeah, and I remember when we were like trudging through like where the cactuses and these trees that had like these barbs on them and stuff, and kept getting the clothing snagged on trees and stuff.
Yeah, it's all gone. Yeah. Yeah, I mean you can see in my video because it's only a 10-minute video and I walk up. And then I walk around, all the way around, so you kind of get an idea. It is a little bit of a ponderous video, but I just for a record, the documentation's sake, I just did the whole thing. You can fast forward through it or whatever you like.
Well, I know we talk about like visiting film locations. I've been meaning to get around to going out to Monroeville Mall, where of course they shot The Dead, and I know that mall's gotten more modernized, but there's still a lot of places inside the actual mall itself that are still like left over from Dawn of the Dead that are pretty much like unchanged for the most part.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've seen these videos where there's parts that are exact, like the part where that fat zombie pushed himself against the window, and stuff that you can actually match up like perfect to the original film. It's still there.
Yeah, the one I think of is, I think it's in that same area, but where like the big fat zombie with the bathing suit walks up the short, bumps into the glass. I think behind
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Behind him was like that cobblestone sort of stacked stone wall, and I watched somebody's video where they went and visited. I think it was like Adam the Woo. That guy goes to a lot of film locations. He was pointing out that there are a couple of dark stones that are set a certain way. and you can match them up, like where the nurse zombie was, and the guy walking around with the M16 rifle, like doing this, and so yeah, a lot of that, and then the corridors, the mechanical room, and there's like the little wooden bridge that kind of goes over like where the little
Oh yeah,
that's still there.
that's still there, man. I mean, imagine, yeah, throwing a penny in that. Oh my God, I would just. Oh man.
Yeah, but I remember where they buried Roger in that lush area where they had all the plants. It's been relegated now to being like this little like 4 foot by 4 foot area where it's like, well, you know, we're going to keep kind of half-assed and just keep a little something there still, but it's not that huge area that it was seen in the film. I know I was fortunate enough that they tore down J.C. Penney, I think in 2011, and made it into like a theater there, some Cineplex. But I recently, yeah, we I think referenced this on the last show, but I actually got one of the bricks that was actually used in that building in J.C. Penney. I ordered that from Monroeville Zombies. They have like stuff like part of the escalator that Roger slid down, and part of the elevator that Flyboy got converted into a zombie in, got attacked when he was trying to get out when the bandits came to the mall, the bikers. So they got a lot of stuff like that. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool to have like a brick from J.C. Penney where they shot the film there. It's kind of like, to me, I always equated to having like a kind of like a corner from the bar from Casablanca, Rick's Bar, Humphrey Bogart, but it's just something kind of neat to have.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of sentimentality, and I mean, I did the same thing when I first visited Quick Hill in like 2005. I took a stone, from the edge of Quick Hill, like outside, like it was actually by the interstate. Actually, it wasn't even in Quick Hill, but I was like, this is close enough to Quick Hill. But yeah, years later, I actually decided to go.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we went there, we obtained some artifacts that from several of those locations.
Just refuse and stones and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. I haven't checked out the barbecue, the gas station. I don't know if there's any building or any progress going on there.
Bilbo's.
Yes. But because I know you've mentioned speaking of other film locations, you mentioned Dawn of the Dead, Monroeville Mall, and that's really cool. But then you've got some stuff on the East Coast in California, some locations.
Yeah, we're big horror buffs, obviously, and so growing up, we're big fans of like the late '70s, early to mid '80s slasher films and just horror films, zombie films, vampire films, all that kind of stuff. So I would like to go to the West Coast and go to the area where Carpenter shot.
I said East Coast. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. West Coast, California.
Yeah, that would be cool. I forget the name of the area there where they shot The Fog, but
you said it was like Port Myron.
No, it's I gotta.
Or Mendocino. That's where they shot Dead and Buried.
Well, they shot Salem's Lot, I believe, around there also. And as you mentioned, Dead and Buried, there's like on the West Coast there's a strip where like you could literally probably take like a 3 or 4 day vacation.
Yeah.
And drive along the coast there, and you're gonna hit
Point Reyes. Sorry.
Yeah, they shot like The Fog, Dead and Buried, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, The Birds, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I mean, it's all like right there on that West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that location video on the Fog Blu-ray, and it was like, wow, it's really picturesque. I mean, just that area, the whole Point Reyes, the Mendocino area, it feels very kind of, East Coasty and this very fog-shrouded areas. Oh man, very cool.
And they have the lighthouse is still there from The Fog.
Yeah.
It was the radio station that Adrian Barbeau's character was broadcasting from. And they have like that area where there's like the little tree that's on the left side of the road at the opening of the movie The Fog, where they're looking down into the bay and the fog rolls in and stuff. And the road that Adrian Barbeau was driving down to get to the the lighthouse. You know, like a lot of these scenes, the little town where like where the church is, where the priest, Hal Holbrook plays, that
Yeah,
little church. And in fact, from what I've seen, that really hasn't changed too much at all. That's still pretty much looking the same too. And didn't they
yeah.
show like Messiah of Evil somewhere around there?
I'm not sure about that, really. I don't
Uh,
know. I don't know.
well,
Yeah, it was definitely somewhere in the California area, and it would make sense. Yeah, I really be excited about Mendocino and trying to pick out some of the locations from Dead and Buried. But according to that commentary track on the Dead and Buried Blue Underground like DVD that I have, they really it doesn't really look like that place in person. You know, I don't know.
hmm.
Yeah.
And then like you have Salem's Lot. You know, I'd like to go see like the. I believe it's still like a cleared off area. I don't know if they built anything on it where they had the Marston House up on the hill, and like Straker's Antique Shop in town is still. I've seen a video recently from some people that went to the film locations of that, and the church that was there is still there.
I'm seeing that was in Ferndale, California.
Ferndale.
Yeah. Just doing some. Oh, and they've got some videos on YouTube. Of course, everybody, you go to these filming locations now. Everybody's got their video cams or camming on YouTube.
Well, closer to home where I'm at, I went to the Friday the 13th Part 7, I believe, the one with
Oh,
the girl with the telekinetic power.
oh yeah, the New
And,
Blood.
that area has like been turned into a boat launch where you can like basically go and drop your boat in, but it still has a feel very much of Crystal Lake when you go out there. It's kind of like way off the road, and you can still see like where they had like the foundation of like one of the houses that
Really?
film, but the dock is still there. The original dock that they used in the film, not the one that sank, because they had two docks. One was like a raised one, and then one was like a lower one. The raised one, I believe, they blew up in the movie, but they still have the one that goes out. That's the lower dock that people fish off of.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I got some pictures of me going out on that, and I went out in a kayak and paddled around out there. And they still have the tree. There's like a tree that's got like a U shape. It kind of grew out the limbs. Where in the film you can see where Jason comes out of the lake there, and he decapitates the guy. He goes out there with some girl who's skinny dipping, and Jason just like lobs the guy's head off. That's still out there.
Man. So, but all the buildings that it's not there anymore. There's just you can see a foundation for one, but
From what I understand, there was a house that was a real house there, but then they built like a facade of a house,
uh,
like very close in proximity to the house that's standing there at the time.
uh,
And they blew up the facade of the house. And there's supposed to be like two houses that were on the property in the film. They were depicted where it's kind of like a gravel sort of driveway, and
yeah.
the teens were staying there at the differing houses there. But I think they moved because I talked to some of the local people that were out there fishing, and they were aware that the film actually had been shot there years ago. But I think the house that was standing there, they actually like moved it from the foundation off that property, but there's still like part of like concrete where they had like the front porch and stuff where you can see it's still at ground level where it's kind of raised a little.
Oh,
And where Jason's like chasing people around like the little gully there and stuff, that's still there. You can recognize it. Like I
yeah.
watched the movie and then went out. It's like about a 30-minute drive from where I'm sitting right now. So
I know. You know, I lived so close to it for so many years. I kick myself that I didn't investigate more, and we didn't go out there together. And next time I come out there, that's another. You got to take me out there. I got to do that. Got to take the trip.
I think we were pressed for time last time you were coming through because I had mentioned going out there real quick.
Yeah. But I was just like,
It really is. It's worth going out there. It's especially cool to get out like in the kayak and like be looking at the dock from the middle of the lake.
oh,
And especially like with the sun going down and stuff, it really has the feel of Crystal Lake out there.
I know. I want to see. Yeah, I definitely got to see the dock. Yeah, that's a cool thing. Let me see. Other
It,
filming
it,
locate.
it was,
What other filming locations? Well, Close Encounters. You checked out some Close Encounters locations, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We went to in trying to think if it's Fairhope, Alabama. They have the
Yeah.
house that we seen at the beginning of the film, and the one where the young boy is like playing with the toys in the bedroom, and they come to life and start moving around. And the lady who lives there actually let me come in, and I shot some video and took some photos. And the inside of the house is still like extremely recognizable. You know, the kitchen area where the aliens were outside in their spacecrafts, kind of beaming the lights in. You can see it through the windows of the kitchen, and all the pots and stuff were rattling around. The door
Hmm.
where the dog runs out, and you know that I guess one of the aliens, if I remember correctly, crawls in through the dog door and starts going through the garbage and stuff. That's all still there. And the front door, there's a big scene where they come down the steps and go to the door, and the door opens up, and it's all like bright outside from the alien spacecrafts in the field
Oh.
where the kid runs out. That house is one location I went to, and then there's like the tunnel that not the main tunnel. There's a smaller one going into the city of Mobile where they shot the scene where Richard Dreyfuss is like racing that small alien spacecraft through the tunnel itself,
Oh.
and then the train tracks, the famous scene where Richard
Train
Dreyfuss's
track.
character goes to the train tracks and he's looking at the map trying to figure it out, and you know the alien ship starts screwing around with him sitting in the truck. Went there, and the house that Richard Dreyfuss and Terry Garr lived in. That house is like basically like almost to the T. Looks exactly the same way. Just
Hmm.
some rural neighborhood in Mobile.
Oh. Hmm.
So it was
Yeah.
cool seeing that. I get a
Then.
real going to these film locations because you really you get like a more of an appreciation when you go back and watch the movie. Because if you're like me, I've grown up with these movies and watched them so many times, especially these horror films, that when you're actually there at the
Yeah.
location, it's almost like visiting one of your old childhood homes, like that you used to live at as a kid or something, you know, or visiting like the home of where a relative lived that you don't really recall because you were like an infant at the time or something, and it feels familiar and you recognize it, but it's like a new experience, so it's kind of cool going there.
Yeah, it is a freak out, you know. I mean, definitely going to these places that you've seen so many times and experienced like almost a kind of reality through a film, and then to see real in real life. That's, I mean, things look different. They look bigger and smaller, and uh,
Yeah, I've noticed that, especially like at the Friday the 13th location, a lot of the area there, it looks like it's more vast in the film. It's like
yeah,
more of an expanse there. And I'll tell you, like the thing that was really wild was standing in the backyard of the house. I had permission from the property owners to go onto the property and walk around there. And they said that they have people that go out there on certain anniversaries for the film and take
yeah,
photos and all that. To go, there's a scene where Richard Dreyfuss is like behind that particular house, and they were doing construction at the time in the film, and I guess they incorporated it into the movie where you could see they were doing some add-on to the house,
yeah,
which subsequently now when you're there you can see what they were building on was like a back porch area. It's a huge back porch area with like some stacked brick, but actually if you watch the movie, Dreyfuss's character is like in the back driveway part, as I said, and to get that shot, like Spielberg would have had to have been like what is now like basically like a fenced area that goes up against a creek.
yeah.
So it's kind of cool actually standing because I was referencing the exact position from watching like a clip from YouTube, and it was just kind of cool to go, hey, you know, I'm standing like right where Steven Spielberg did to shoot this film from that angle and stuff, the same exact spot.
Yeah. Just looking at.
And then the window with that, the window still on the side of the house there, where the driveway kind of goes around to the back side of the house. I was trying to remember something happens in that window, like I think he throws the garbage out the window or something, or because on the other side of it's the kitchen, and I mean, it looks exactly the same as it did in Close Encounters when you
Oh.
watch the movie. So I mean, it was just really wild. Like I had it on my phone, like watching the clip from the movie, and I'm like actually standing right there, right where that scene's taking place, like in present day. So yeah, it's a bit odd and
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah, I'm just looking at film locations here. Blood Simple was shot in the Austin area. Of course, the Spy Kids films and the Tree of Life, and of course Boyhood, and
Well, didn't they shoot some of the beginning of Death Proof, like when they were driving by, like the front of the Alamo Draft House? Because I saw that film recently, and I recognized that like little stretch of area there, right on the corner where Alamo's at. They were
well,
driving
no,
down.
well, most of Death Proof was shot in Austin, and
Okay.
a lot of Planet Terror was. I think just looking at here, because I thought more of Death Proof was shot here. I think the only thing shot in California was the very end of Death Proof when the Zoe Bell plays the ship's mast and they're doing all the stunt work.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but yeah,
Well,
the farm.
didn't part of Machete take place at like the Rodriguez's studio that looks like a mill or something or refinery?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah,
In one of those like Machete films, I think the second one.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it looks like what you described to me because I haven't been there, but you mentioned it sounded like it synced up.
yeah, yeah. Let's see here. I'm just looking at trying to see. Yeah, a lot of locations in El Paso and San Antonio. Of course, the original Getaway. Shot around here.
Second,
Yeah, the good one. Yeah,
yeah.
we were talking about Peck and Paw. These podcasts always go to our obsessions. They somehow go back to Peck and Paw. We'll be talking about James Bond locations in a couple seconds, but oh
So
man,
Blood Simple was actually shot around you.
oh yeah, yeah. The
Oh, I
Coen
gotta go
brothers.
back and watch that.
Oh yeah. In fact, I haven't. Yeah, the cemetery was in Hutto. Yeah, I think I know
So
where that is.
where was the Getaway? You mentioned something about that. What locations in that film were used?
I'm just looking here, and I'm just seeing El Paso and San Antonio. There was a bank I think used, and let me see here. Mm,
No, is
there's an
that the bank?
Amtrak station.
Is that the bank that they knock off at the beginning with?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the character actor's name. Is it Al Letier or something like that?
yeah, Alighieri.
Who plays Rudy?
Yeah. Oh, okay. It was. Oh, okay. So the bank was an empty bank building in San Marcos, which is not that far from here, and it was now it's a restaurant. Whoa, it's the vault. Uh-oh. Looks this. Oh man, this is hipster. Oh man, I want to go to the vault.
The hipster.
You can go. You can now. You can eat. You can eat at the bank. Yeah. I want to go that. I want to go to that. I don't know where the fuck they don't have. It's just the vault. They just say, hey, it's the vault. It's not like we don't. What the fuck is the vault? Yeah, it's just like the vault.
Yeah.
What
Let
the
me in
fuck
the
is it?
vault.
No, I guess it's a hip club. Okay, it's like a venue. Yeah, wow, the vault. What the fuck?
Oh no, the hipsters are taking over.
Yeah, they've invaded the bank. So, but yeah, all right, that was cool. So it was apparently just an abandoned building for years. Yeah,
Seeing like a theme here with like, they took the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house and converted that into like a bed and breakfast inn or something, right?
yeah, yeah.
And then like, didn't the Halloween house, didn't they like move it from its foundation to somewhere else and it's like a dentist office now or something?
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought I had heard something about it, or maybe it was a dentist office, but then it became like a some sort of inn or something, or a place where you can go get lunch, and people show up there and walk all around and shoot video going up the staircase and stuff. That's what I want to do, is go to the Halloween film locations also.
Yeah, yeah, that is yeah, definitely a cool area.
I want to like go hide behind the bushes and say, "Ronnie, get your ass out of there."
Ronnie, get your ass out of there. That was great. Yeah, I was watching.
I love when Pleasance. I love when Pleasance backs up and he backs into the sheriff at that point in that scene. Scares the shit out of him. I had to add that. I just love that scene.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good scene. Yeah, but I don't know. What were we talking about? Oh shit.
You were looking at the vault, talking about moving, converting that to a hipster club, and how like they move these houses and from where they are and convert them into like bed and breakfasts and inns and stuff.
Man.
Think about the Halloween film locations.
Halloween. Fucking
I like
Halloween.
the hospital that they use for Halloween too, and kind of see that also, like in that square that they use that Michael Myers walked through to go to the hospital in Halloween 2. Go after Laurie.
Yeah, isn't there a video on the Scream Factory Blu-ray about those locations?
Yeah, they did like I think it's like Horror's Hallowed Grounds.
Yeah, Horror's Hallowed Grounds. I'm sorry. That guy behind Horror's Hallowed Grounds, he's really good. He's, moderates the commentaries.
Yeah, I saw his for Halloween 2 and 3 and The Fog.
Yeah.
Well, that brings up a question. The Funhouse, from what I understand, that was shot in Miami.
Yeah.
Like they constructed like a carnival ground there for the film.
Yeah.
But I always wondered, because when you're a kid growing up watching these films, like a lot of times, like obviously Halloween, is Haddonfield, Illinois, but it was shot in California, so it's like you don't really have a good gauge on what part of the country. You just kind of like look peripherally and kind of gauge where it takes place, unless it's like otherwise pointed out in the film itself.
Yeah.
But like Funhouse, they weren't really overt with letting you know where that took place, from what I recall. So for the longest time, I didn't know where the hell that film was supposed to even take place. And then I read or heard in a commentary that they shot that in Miami. I was like, really? That's kind of weird.
Everywhere. It's supposed to be Middletown, USA, everywhere USA. Yeah, that was I believe that was on Ivan Tor's studios, the flipper guy. Right?
Who the hell is that?
The Ivan Tor Studios is a well-known studio facility where they shot Flipper, and...
Oh, okay.
I think so. I know we listened to the commentary track for the Funhouse, and Toby Hooper was talking about it.
Yeah, he was just a bastion of verbal information on that commentary. Seemed like he was just like saying, "Yeah."
He was low energy, but when I saw him in person, when he showed Eggshells, his first film, in Austin, this is not too long ago. I think it was last year, and I went to see it. He was in person, and he seemed very animated. Yeah, that was a good showing, man. There were like people. It was like a Chainsaw reunion there. There was like Wayne Bell, the guy who did the soundtrack and the audio for Chainsaw. He was there. He'd worked on Eggshells and a lot of the other. But they were in the audience, and they were like old war buddies. And they'd gone through the shit, and they didn't want to talk about it. It was like they were beyond that.
Was it like Kim Hinkle one of those people?
Kim Hinkle, I think, was there as well. I think I saw that fucker. He was there, I think. So, some other people, I think, involved with Chainsaw. It's just,
Yeah, we've had like a lot of good stuff, like as far as like going to the Alamo Draft House when I was in town, watching those films that we saw. Eddie Muller was there from the Film Noir Society and was showing some films there, and you ran into William Friedkin one time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was showing Sorcerer there. Yeah, that was Sorcerer. That was weird because they showed Sorcerer in like March, and then like a couple months later they started showing it again, and they showed up with a Mondo poster. That one, that Sorcerer, that's signed by Friedkin. And yeah, he was a, I want to say about William Friedkin, there are some like actors and directors that you like, follow them, and then like you meet them in person and they're like different. Have you ever had that kind of experience where it's like, oh, this isn't like the person that I've been following. This is different. It's not the case with William Friedkin. He's exactly the way you think he is. The voice, everything. It was like this is William Friedkin. And there's some directors and everything. You meet them in person, they're just kind of like average people, or even like television anchors, or I mean anyone who you just like see on a screen, just meet them in person, they're just like, they're just different. William Friedkin was not that. He was a personality.
I got that like celebrities mostly, like that I met over the years at conventions and stuff, and
Yeah.
I've had a couple of experiences with like a couple of people where they were kind of dicky, but it was like I don't know if they were having a bad day or whatever, but whatever. I mean, I hear stuff like it's so weird because you hear people like, for example, like Tom Savini. I've
Yeah.
never met Tom Savini, but like you always hear like these like such widely differing versions of like instances where people have met him and he's either been like the nicest, coolest guy in the world, or like people just say he's like the biggest dick in the world, and it just makes me wonder if like the people who have had bad experiences were just like being a nuisance and just
Yeah.
like asking him like the same bullshit questions about these films that like thousands of people have asked him, and they just kind of get numb to it.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I mean, I wasn't even talking about people being dicks. So I was just being like different. But you
No,
bring up, but yeah, but you definitely bring up a good thing about Tom Savini because he's definitely one of the hotly contested. But I don't hear that in recent years. I think maybe he's kind of cooled off, or I don't know. I don't hear that as much. Because I mean,
well, you know,
it seemed like there were a number of years where he was out there, chasing tail at these conventions and stuff, or at least you got that impression. I mean, I don't know anything. I've never even met him in person, but I don't know. What do you think?
well, you know what I would do if I ran into John Carpenter and actually got to meet him. Being the director of Halloween, right?
Oh,
I'd have to tell him about my sickness for like buying all the Halloween Blu-rays and ask him what he thinks about it.
yes, yes, you would. Oh my God. Oh,
No, the ultimate. I'd have to buy a Halloween Blu-ray from him, like to get him to sign it, and then try and return it.
yeah. There you go. Well, you couldn't return it because it would be open. There'd be like it's defaced. But you're like, no, this is John Carpenter's signature on it.
No, I meant return it to him after I bought it. Like bought it at the table and got him to sign it, then tried to return it. That's like the ultimate sickness.
Oh, that is the ultimate sickness. Yeah, that's. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
For the viewers out there, it's been a long-standing joke between John and I that I for some reason I just couldn't pass up buying the Halloween Blu-ray whenever I would come across it, like at Best Buy or whatever store we were at, and I would end up like returning it, like unopened, and then I'd end up buying it again like a couple of months later. And so I'm just such a fan of Halloween, I guess, that it's just a sickness.
Yeah, is John Carpenter appearing anywhere recently? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Well, I think I missed Ramiro at the Draft House not too long ago, right?
Really?
Didn't you showed up there? Or I
Oh,
thought you said he showed up at a theater somewhere, like in that area,
really?
or they were showing Dawn of the Dead and somebody was there. I thought that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. But I thought,
Man, if Romero was here, I'd be fucking on it. Like,
well, yeah, I'd be flying out there to visit you again.
No. I think. Well, what I was talking about is years ago they did a big Dawn of the Dead October event where they bust everyone out to a mall and they had like zombies around the buses and you had to run through the zombies and get into the mall. And George Romero was there and they showed the movie in the mall. I think it was in Highland Mall actually, which is a big, it's a very 70s looking mall here. That's kind of half, closed down. And in fact, there's a community college, Austin Community College, has pretty much bought half of this mall. But that was a really cool event. It was a release event for a poster, Mondo poster release of Dawn of the Dead. So that was probably expensive. I mean, it was probably like $120 ticket or something. But you get a poster, you get all of this stuff, you know.
I don't. That seems. It would be fun to watch, but it seems like it'd be kind of annoying, like having these assholes running around chasing you. You know, and it's like.
Oh, that would be cool. Oh, no, I know. I mean, it was like cool. I think it would be cool. And I mean, it's expensive, but you get that poster, and that poster you could sell that online for like $100, $200. You know, I mean, so it's not like it's ultra, you know, ridiculous.
Well, zombies don't run. Also, remember in Romero's films. So.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Probably maybe some of these guys, I don't know if they were running or not. There's a whole video on it. I think.
What are your speaking of zombies? What are your thoughts on like this whole thing now with like The Walking Dead being on, and it's like all of a sudden zombies now have like hit this cultural sort of uh, prominence where it's like everyone and their brother is like a fan of zombies all of a sudden. It's become like trendy to be like a big fan of zombies, and like it's kind of odd to me because I mean, growing up, like Dawn of the Dead, for example, was always this like really taboo sort of film that you
yeah.
pull out and gross people out with these people getting like disemboweled and heads getting lopped off and stuff, and you know, it's like all this flesh eating going on. And it's like now you have like it seems like you got like the soccer moms that are like watching Walking Dead, and it's just become really trendy now. And it seems like it's kind of watered down the whole mystique that zombie films have had for many years.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree. I saw the change around like 2006 when I went into the Virgin Megastore in New York. No longer there, of course. And they had this rack of Lucio Fulci's zombie T-shirts, and it was like, what the hell? This
Yeah.
mainstream record store. It was like, you know, and Dawn of the Dead is now, you know, a mainstream film, and then of course The Walking Dead. I don't know. The zombie genre has always been kind of a troubling thing for me because it borrows so much from those Romero films, and it feels almost like it treads on a lot of his, you know, intellectual property, and so it's very uncomfortable for me to even call it a genre when it's such the work of, you know, a small group of people in these three films. Um, but yeah, it is odd. I mean, I'm not offended by it. It just seems, it just strikes me as odd. That's the new flavor of the month, you know. Well,
Well, I know
yeah, for a
I
long
walked
time.
into like an FYE not too long ago in like a movie stop, and I noticed at both locations now they have like little zombie bobbleheads and these cute little zombie dolls that the little children can buy and play with and stuff. And it's like it just seems like it's gotten where they're trying to like they're making like a thing out of it, like Twilight or something, where it's like, you know, oh, we got to do like a lunch box for the kids to go to elementary school with like the zombies on it and stuff. It just is like, come on, I mean, enough's enough already, Jesus.
Yeah, it gets. By the way, speaking of zombies, have you ever seen Shockwaves? That like Nazi zombie film.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. I'm more familiar with the iconic poster of it.
It's so great. It just came out on Blu-ray in like I think January a few months ago, and yeah, I just when you think about that's probably one of my favorite zombie films. It's not really a zombie film. It's more of kind of the spooky. These undead Nazi soldiers in the film are more like kind of ghosts. You know, you just kind of see them, and they're more like a force. And all the spooky stuff from them rising out of the water. Oh man,
With the
that's
goggles on and all that.
what?
With their goggles, like the World War
Oh,
II goggles and stuff.
oh yeah, the whole thing with the goggles, and then when you rip the goggles off, it fucks them all up, and
Well, when you
and
talk about zombie films, like cheesy zombie films that like you have a special place for, I always have to go right away to Hell of the Living Dead, otherwise known as like Night of the Zombies.
oh my god, oh man,
You got the Goblin score. I remember when I was a kid, like I saw Dawn of the Dead, and then I saw, of course, you know, Night of the Zombies. I'm like, well, I'm gonna rent this movie, and you know, you got like the SWAT team guys are dressed in the same blue SWAT uniforms. You got the Goblin score
yeah,
that's going through it, and it like screwed with my head because it was like this weird, like Italian foreign film sort of take on Dawn of the Dead in a way, and it really was just like really weird because I'm like, you know, I'm so used to if you watch a film like Halloween or Dawn of the Dead, I mean, like the music is just so ingrained in your head that you would recognize it in any film like immediately, and it just really threw me off the first time I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that film, I think is what is it called? Also known as like Virus something or Night of the Zombies, Hell of the Living Dead. Yeah, that's I did watch that as a kid, just like you, and it has all this stock footage of like wildlife in it, and then the
Huh.
zombies, and it's very I mean it's very kind of just lumbering, and parts of it just kind of drag on and on and on. But when it came out on DVD, it looked so good, and now it's on Blu-ray, and it still
I
looks.
bought, I bought the Blu-ray, and I can tell you, like, it's amazing what they've done with that movie on
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
but it looks like a comic book. It looks very bright and colorful, and the VHS was just so shitty. You know,
Yeah.
it definitely made me see it in a
Yeah,
different way.
it's like you were like looking at it through like it's like a nylon stocking
Yeah,
sort of screen that had been pulled over the camera lens or something. It was just real muddied up and stuff, like you're saying.
yeah. Look, yeah. Poor Bruno Mattei, the late from the director, the late Bruno Mattei, who made Rats, Night of Terror, and then about maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he made a couple of new zombie films. He went to like the Philippines or Thailand, or did these two, really weird shot-on-video zombie films, just only recently re-released on DVD.
Well, the great thing about Hell of the Living Dead was that it's such a nihilistic feel to that film, and
Oh
like
yeah.
just, by the end of the movie, like everyone's dead, and it's just like carnage throughout the whole film, and
And then there's that crazy guy who's just like, shoot me, shoot me, shoot. He's like, and then he gets the zombie and blows his head off, and he's going nuts.
yeah, and it's whenever you watch it, it's frustrating because they've already established you have to shoot the fuckers in the head to kill them, and like they're emptying out just like clip
Yeah.
after clip, just blowing holes through them in the chest and stuff. And even the one character is like, "No, I told you, you got to shoot him in the head
And
like
then
this."
he shoots him in the head like this, and he just does it. And that guy, the horrible dubbing, like the worst dubbing of pretty much the worst of the worst. Yeah.
I have been watching more Columbo. I know we were talking about that last podcast, and
I've not seen more, but yes.
I got to the Nick Cassavetes episode where he was, or John Cassavetes. I'm sorry, Nick's his son, but
Etude
John.
in Black, yeah.
He's a orchestra conductor that has his mistress, this woman he's seeing on the side,
Yeah.
murdered. And, it was interesting seeing Blythe Danner in that because she looks just like her daughter, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, oh my God, Blythe Danner. Who the hell would cheat on Blythe Danner? Jesus, holy
I
moly.
mean, she acts so spaced out in that episode.
I know. Well, hey,
She's like very wide-eyed and like
I,
kind of
I,
weird.
I know that's her thing. Yeah, but hey, yeah,
And
guy
I
needs
saw
to take a
there was
vacation.
another.
I don't know why.
What's that?
I was like, why would you want to take a vacation from Blythe Danner, even a spaced out Blythe Danner?
Well, the thing, like, according to this episode, the guy, like, I guess he had some debt issues or something, and he married
Yeah,
Blythe
yeah.
Danner's character, and he's got like the hot
Because
brunette.
because her mother is basically financing his career.
Yeah, and I saw one with Robert Culp and the one with Leonard Nimoy actually, where he played a doctor, and that was quite a good episode. Where I talk about these because they're like mini movies when you watch these Columbo episodes, because a lot of them are like an hour and a half long. They're about like feature movie length when you watch them. They're not like just some little 45-minute compressed little mini mystery. I mean, they're like movies when you watch
Yeah,
them.
I know, and that's how they're set up. Even the credits, the opening titles, and it's Columbo in this mystery. Yeah, very very cool. Yeah, I wanted to say about Etude in Black that a big location for that is the Hollywood Bowl. That's where the conductor and some people was telling me, first of all, the Hollywood Bowl in person, I think it looks a lot smaller. I think it's a real small venue. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures and also that it's very easy to sneak into the Hollywood Bowl. That at night there's very little security, and you can just walk up there and
Well,
very
that
easy.
as we saw by John Cassavetes' character in that film, he was able to get out of of the bowl without being seen and then sneak back in.
Well, But I'm saying in real life,
Yeah.
recently, there's just very little. Probably when there's no event, there's probably very little security. Well, it just looks like a stone, area that you can just walk up. Probably everything's, important shit is locked away. But.
Where's that located? Like, what's that around?
I have no clue. I'm ignorant about the Hollywood Bowl.
What other
Well, it's on
films?
Highland. It's on Highland. It's on Highland Avenue. Yeah.
What other films have utilized that location? Because it seems like I've seen a lot of films that have been at the Hollywood Bowl, and when I saw it, I recognized it. But I was trying to go back and remember what movies that they shot there.
I don't know. Probably so many. I
I mean,
mean,
this is the
of course,
this
there's
is
been
the
many symphonies there. Of course.
yeah, and this is the
Uh,
venue where I believe like the Doors played and like Jefferson Airplane back in the '60s and stuff, right?
yeah. Yeah. Uh, okay. Yeah. No, I've just seen a lot of television stuff. Ed Sullivan Show, Seinfeld, The Simpsons, Jay Leno, Melrose Place, American Idol, The Apprentice.
So a
I
lot of shit shows were shot there.
Yeah, I just see on their website. Yeah, they've got a whole thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, and yeah,
Yeah, and yeah,
yeah.
wonder if has the jackknife been to the Hollywood Bowl?
I I have no clue. I'm sure he has. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
cool.
know. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm getting tired. You have anything you want to talk about, or I don't know.
Well, I was just thinking maybe our buddy Chris could crash at the Hollywood Bowl.
There you go. I don't know. They would probably get kicked out, even with no security. Somehow he would manage it. I don't.
They don't have Wi-Fi there, I don't think.
He needs an area with Wi-Fi because it's very steampunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're sending him out some love and love and mercy, and
Oh, I did watch the
pray.
trailer. We talked
Oh,
about that last time. Love and Mercy with the Brian Wilson biopic with John Cusack and who was it?
Paul
Dotto.
Paul Dano.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I don't know. The trailer is the beginning of the trailer is really cool because it's like Paul Dano he looks so much like young Brian Wilson, doesn't he? It's like scary.
But like John Cusack doesn't really look like Brian Wilson. I mean, he's a great actor, but I'm like when I was watching that, I'm looking at John Cusack.
Yeah,
It's not really like
yeah, yeah. It does. It seems like you could make that guy Paul Dano look older. It seems like you could do something to him. Or like maybe have him go on a crash diet because in the 80s Brian Wilson started getting really thin. I don't know, but it could also be cool because maybe they're doing that intentionally, like that Bob Dylan film I'm not here, where it was like everybody it was like a Bob Dylan played by like 5 different characters and a woman and all this stuff. I think it's supposed to be more of a realistic film though. I don't know. It could be really good. Cusack's a good actor.
well, but I mean, Val Kilmer did a great job playing Jim Morrison in The Doors, so maybe it'll be something where he'll just really own that role to such a degree when you see it that you won't be seeing John Cusack. I mean, it's kind of tough to get out of that trailer the full
Yeah,
degree of like how he's going to be playing that role. So
yeah. And Brian Wilson has a new album coming out this year as well, so that's some new stuff.
yeah, I was a Brian Wilson fan for a long time when I was like really into music and stuff, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not now into music, so I don't really follow it. But I liked his solo stuff. It's just had this timeless sort of quality that was very nostalgic and
yeah,
very Beach Boyish sounding, but at the same time, it's more like their later stuff and more Pet Soundish
yeah.
than the early stuff where it was just kind of like bubblegum pop.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I'm interested in this film. Yeah, I think it could go a couple different ways. Could be interesting.
Now I'm still waiting for the biopic of who's the group that does Raisin Cain?
Oh, those guys. That would be yeah. I think Richard Linklater could direct that. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of that group?
I don't know.
God, for the life of me, I can't
Raisin
remember them.
Cain.
Yeah, it's gonna bother me now. They're on YouTube. All you have to do to pull them up is pull up its like world's worst rock song or something, or the worst rock band in the world or something. It's pretty funny. They're out at the beach and they got
Yeah.
like all sorts of craziness going on where the lead singer is like way past his prime, pulling off like a Robert Plant sort of imitation, and the drummer looks like some guy that sells fruit, like out of a fruit truck or something. And
Oh, it's Wally World. Is that it?
Wally World, that's how can you forget that? I mean, is that supposed to be a goof, or are they really, trying to like actually put something out there? I see you're watching it through your reflection of your glasses there.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus, you can see it.
Yeah. Raise some cane.
Raisin Cain.
Yeah, you're right. They should have incorporated that into the Brian De Palma Raisin Cane film with John Lithgow.
That could be the theme song. You know. They
Ain't
need.
no pain, ain't no shame. Raisin
Oh my
Cane.
God. Oh,
Yeah,
Raisin
that's a
Cain.
good one.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Schwarzenegger
It's
doing
funny
it.
how like, some of these like shitty songs and stuff we goof on YouTube just get stuck in your head.
They
Because like
do.
the Raisin Cane song actually is catchy. I mean, it's just a shitty sort of like presentation of the song. But I mean, actually,
Yeah.
the song itself is like pretty catchy.
And it's not shitty in like a Tim and Eric like intentionally. It's just it's ridiculous. And this guy I love. He's like posing. He's like an old pro. He's like thinks he's Alice Cooper. But
We got the breakdown of the song, and he just starts screaming like out of nowhere, and some woman, they got some woman in the background who's like wearing a coat and like a two-piece bikini or something.
yeah,
And
I know that was gonna be the eye candy, but it's like it's too fucking cold. Fuck this. I'm wearing a coat. She's like, you're not paying me anything, motherfuckers.
yeah, I mean, she looks like some sort of like mail order whore or something. That
I know. Well, I think she's just like, fuck you, man. And then somebody, I see somebody crosses in the back with just like looking at their fucking phone. It's like, just people are just walking. It's just they're walking into his music video.
and then the one guy, he looks like a little. I thought it was like a diminutive, like a very small female, but it's a male. And like a little, like a hobbit or something. It's really just there's all sorts of weirdness going on in that.
Oh, there's all kinds of deviance. It
But
is.
I keep having that pop up on YouTube as like a recommendation, and I always look at the count. Like it's like at 250 something thousand, and it like every time I see it, it's gone up like hundreds.
He's partnering. Oh, he's looking up the sky,
Yeah.
and that he's got a partner. He does this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, there you
I mean,
go. Oh.
none of these people look like they belong with any of the other ones in the same group.
Oh God. Oh
I mean,
no.
the drummer
I gotta stop it.
the drummer is like I don't know what's going on with him. He's just like it's like a different song.
Oh yeah. Look. We got some skin. Yeah, she's gonna give us some skin here. Oh.
The woman in red.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Gonna do a little dancing. Uh-oh. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that's Deviance right there.
It is very, very much deviance.
Wonder if you can rent them to like play a wedding or something.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of have to pay you, I think, just to play. They're like, please, I want to play.
Like, fucking Wally World, man. Yeah, we want to hear Raise some Cain.
Yeah.
Is that their only song, or do they have like a whole like album of greatest hits or something?
I don't know. Wally World.
I saw on YouTube they did have a video where they were playing at some sort of club and they were playing Raise some Cain.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Left Coast Showcase Public Access 1992, Wally World. So they've been at this for a while.
So they're kind of like Chris. They've been kind of trudging away, chomping at the bit for a while, and never quite reaching.
They haven't reached the lofty heights of Star Raisin yet, but someday they'll be like Amber Street. They'll be on Amber Street.
Well, like actually, Chris could be in that group. I mean, he looks like he'd fit in with the guys with the hats, and like that whole.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a Renaissance man.
Yeah. Good. They could make their next cover of their album one of the art pesos or something.
Yeah. Oh. I see they're covering Urgent by Foreigner. Wally's World. Or I guess the name is Wally's World.
Wally's World. Who's the lead singer in that group?
I don't know. Maybe he's Wally.
I wonder if we could get Wally World on Pulse and Cinema.
Oh my God. No. Yeah.
We managed to contact some of our friends over the years and gotten in touch with them, Brother Tony, and there's no reason we couldn't get in touch with Wally World.
I don't know, man. Wally World. Jesus. Wally World.
We got to give a special shout out to Brother Tony, our friend, by the way, since I mentioned Brother Tony. He's a big fan of Pulse and Cinema.
Yeah, he likes it. I'm just looking at this Wally's World. Oh my God, this is Deviant. Oh well, I don't know, Mike. Unless you got anything else, I think I'm ready to call it a night here with the show.
Yeah, I think much like Wally World's career, we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, I know that killed me talking about the Wally World. Now I'm just all the energy is drained. So I guess until next time, keep your nose in the wind and your tail to yourself.
And don't forget Raisin Cain.
Oh!